My name is Anne B. Ragde. Ragde is very difficult to pronounce in German. Ragde. I'm from Norway. I'm half Danish. I've written a trilogy about three brothers from this pig farm outside of Trondheim. And Trondheim is a town in the middle of Norway. It's a very old town, more than 1,000 years old. And just outside there's a lot of farms. So my history through several generations is situated on this farm. These three brothers are very different. The oldest, he's working with the pigs. The brother in the middle, he works as a funeral agent. And the youngest, he lives in Copenhagen. He has left the farm 20 years ago and never came back. He's gay, he's living with a man. They've been together for 12 years. They're living in Copenhagen, and he works as a decorator for shop windows. He's very, very good, and just only have the best clients.
Your first book turned out to be a bestseller, not only in Norway. It's rather unusual that a book about a pig farm would be a bestseller. Did you expect that?
No, I didn't expect that at all. It's not the recipe for a bestseller, but people love them. And the trilogy is the most-selling books in Norwegian literature history. It sells more than the Bible. I think that what the readers recognize is this. It's so difficult to be part of a family, and it's difficult to communicate, say the right things, and you're thinking one thing and you're saying something else, and not being able to communicate, and all the love that is lost because you can't communicate. And this difficult thing about being a part of a family, I think that's what readers recognize. Because there is no such thing as a normal family. Every family has something.
However, in the end, family always seems to stick together, right?
Yes, blood is thicker than water, they say. But not for everyone. And I used to watch these programs, you know, where people find each other after 50 years or something, or you are adopted and you want to find your biological parents, and some want to do that, others don't. And others say that no, this is my father and mother now. I don't want to know about anybody else. And but. Where another girl would say, I need to meet my real mother. So this thing about family and bonds and what is it that tie people together in a family? Is it DNA, or is it talking and being together? So it's very interesting. I'm very, very fascinated about families. I've written about that before as well, about the ties that go through generations and what you inherit and what is in you from earlier generations.
On the other hand, it's also a very funny story. Sometimes you might even say you're making a little fun of your characters, do you?
I let Erlend, the youngest, I let him fly a bit. He's that kind of gay person that's very exaggerated and sort of outgoing. And his partner is not. He's a very calm and low-key type. But Erlend is very, very exaggerated. And I've let him be like that. In the beginning, when the book came out in Norway, some said that Erlend is a caricature. And then all the gays went to the papers and said, he's not, he's real. So that was really, really an experience. And the gay communities in Norway, they just love the books and love me as a spokeswoman for
Yes, you're preaching tolerance in a way.
Yes, I have actually. That was not anything I thought about before I wrote the books, but that has happened. And I get so many emails, and the gay couples stop me in the street and tell me that for the first time they are invited to his old aunt as a couple for dinner, and they get Christmas presents together to the house and stuff. That they are considered a couple, and they weren't before, because this old aunt has read about Erlend and Krumme. And understood that they live just like an ordinary couple. They cook food, they buy food, they argue about TV channels. They are just an ordinary couple. They don't have sex 24 hours per day. And that has opened a lot of doors, actually. And that makes me very, very happy.
You got two other brothers. One is an undertaker. The other one is working on the pig farm. Do you have any expertise in either of those two jobs, or did you do a lot of research?
I do lots and lots of research. I really put so much work into research, not just on the internet and on the phone. I went to work with pigs, and I went to a funeral agency and followed them around and talked to them, and went to funerals for strangers. That's very interesting to go to a funeral for a person that you don't know, and you can observe in a quite different way, because if you're involved you don't see a lot of things. You're sort of just in your grief. So that was extremely interesting. But originally I was supposed to be a veterinarian when I was a young girl, and I worked as an assistant for a veterinarian, working on farms with cows, sheep, pigs, and I could do a lot of things myself. Yeah, injections and sew them up and everything. So inseminate cows, being inside them and putting in the semen from the oxes, and so I love working on farms, and so I love doing research for this farmer. Really, really.
The third book of your trilogy is not out yet in Germany. It's supposed to be published in February, I think. Can you give us some little hint what is going to happen next?
No. Torun, the farmer's daughter, she's the main character in that book. It's her story. What is she going to do now? What is she going to do? How does she choose for the rest of her life now? Actually, I thought about that as a title, The Rest of Your Life. And because it's about choices, really, really heavy choices that have consequences.
But it sounds rather deterministic. I mean, but if you choose to take over a pig farm, that's something for life, right?
Yes, it is. And you can choose not to go on working with pigs. You can start a kennel for that sake. But you have to have this responsibility for this farm. So that's a big choice. Yeah.